Hey, it is Dusty Thunder, and I have a story for you. This one actually comes from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Caring About My Stepson? We don't have a lot to go on there. We'll just dive right in. I'm female, married to my husband, male. He has 2 children with his ex-wife, a boy and a girl, 10 and 8. We also have 2 together. She is also remarried, and they have 1 together. They have split custody. She has the kids Sunday night through Friday afternoon when they get out of school, and we get them for the weekends. Recently, my stepson, the 10-year-old, has had some issues with bullying at school. He's also really sensitive, like to the point it can be ridiculous. So the school set up a meeting with the parents, and stepson's mom was very upset to the point that she was visibly angry. The principal suggested a couple of different options, but she got increasingly aggravated that, in her words, they weren't addressing it. And my husband tends to go along with whatever she says in regards to anything with the kids. Oh, I can see how this is going to get complicated. I was there because I said I thought I should be, since I was his mom too, but when Bio Mom got super annoyed, I felt like I needed to step in as my husband was not. I said that the solution of having them separated in the classroom sounded fine, and Bio Mom said, oh, you think so? I don't give a what you think. You're not his mother. Stop pretending you are. I told her that I'm their mom, which she isn't there, and she laughed at me and said, oh, forgot how much homework you have to help with and how many field trips you pay for. And she went on. My husband told me to stop talking, so I did. Then they eventually reached a solution that was satisfactory to Bio Mom and my husband. I tried to talk to my husband about it later, but he also thought that I was overstepping. But I honestly believe it's just because he doesn't want to go against her wishes. So, was I an asshole? Here's the issue for me. I'm at an ESH. I'm at an ESH here because OP, while your heart is in the right place here, when it comes to issues with blended families and parenting, like, you have to understand that even though you might have as much duty-wise or care-wise, or even though you might love them as much as their bio parents do, there is still a limitation to the amount of power that you have when it comes to making decisions for your bonus kids. Unless you've adopted them, you have to defer here. Now, you are saying that you were stepping in because he does nothing. That's an issue that you have to take up with him. Like, that has to be, so your mission needs to be getting him to take action, to do the right thing, and to actually speak up. Jumping in yourself, especially at a meeting with school administrators, and trying to act on behalf of, and again, I understand your heart was in the right place and it might be the right thing to do that you're suggesting here, but I feel like you stepped in it with your partner because you crossed that line. This is me personally. I feel like that was overstepping, but also how Bio Mom responded here was an asshole move too. So her response to that was to lash out and to just attack you and pretend like you are of no significance here. That was an asshole thing for me too. Dad is an asshole here for being inactive, for being the go along to get along, whatever happens here, not actually speaking up. That was me bumping the mic. Not actually speaking up whenever something needs to be done, or for his child, or not talking to his partner, i.e. you here, OP, about what those boundaries are and about, how to approach this as a team. And maybe that's the breakdown here, is this is not behaving as a team. This is behaving as an individual. So everybody is an asshole here, in my opinion. Tater Rooney, come on, she's got words. Tater Rooney has words to say here.
No, I think there's just I'm gonna remove like bio mom, stepmom, all of those things, and just say that in that moment you could tell that the mom was already aggravated, like she was already emotional about the situation. Her child is sensitive and something was happening at school, and it's like she was already elevated in that situation. She was already upset and emotional, and I feel like you just added fuel to that fire in that moment by voicing an opposing opinion to what the mom actually wanted. And titles aside, like you added fuel to a fire that you probably should not have even spoken about. And when you include those titles as a stepmom, you definitely can have an opinion, but that opinion does not happen in front of the bio mom. That opinion happens in private with the person that you're married to. And it doesn't happen in a situation where other people are there unless you're specifically asked by that mom to give your opinion. And that's how, you have to respect a boundary. When the other parent is still involved, especially in that type of setting, you're there to observe and give opinions, behind the scenes, not in front of or overstepping the boundaries of the actual mom. And I feel like she opposed what the mom wanted in that moment and overstepped by a mile. So by far, to me, I would never have done what she did in that moment. She went way across the line, in my opinion, and I think she's an ass-con too for what she did. I know that the mom was
I almost hit the button.
no.
No, don't hit the button.
I know that the
Don't
mom
touch the
was emotional, and I get that. I've been emotional, when it comes to my child and something happening at school, especially if they're being bullied. So the emotions are already there, and to oppose the mom in that situation, I feel like is not okay. Like that's a straight up offense. And the dad, yeah, he should step up. He should be more involved, but that's not the moment that you want him to be like, to find his assertive voice. Like, if anything, like, talk after you have this meeting with the school and go back and voice another opinion. But in that moment, definitely do not overstep, because that's, you can see a woman who's hurting, like her child is, I think is being bullied. And you kind of dismissed the bullying once with your statement that says he's really sensitive, like to the point it can be ridiculous. And to me, you're already dismissive of the fact that he has some issues going on. And then you come into that meeting and the mom is saying that's not good enough. And you're like, no, I'm fine with it. That's not your place. Like you're just being shitty at that point. So I think I do understand the ESH, but in my opinion, I think I would only rank her and ASCON 2 in this situation. They obviously have communication issues to work out, but she overstepped by a mile.
Understood.
I don't like it.
And I do think here that while everybody sucks, OP definitely sucks more here.
Yeah, she that line of it being ridiculous to me is like, you don't, and like the mom said, like, you don't get to see them throughout the week. Like, you have the weekends, and I don't know, like, she's not even trying to understand whatever the issues are that the son has. Like, she's just being dismissive. And I think, I don't know, it just pisses me off a little bit, like a lot of it. I don't like it. It feels kind of gross in my opinion.
Well, okay, so now go back and look at the title of the story, and the context comes through, right?
You weren't caring about your stepson. You were trying to be assertive to a mom, like, in my opinion.
So this is now like, now I'm a victim of the situation. Am I the astronaut for caring about my stepson? Like, that's an oversimplification.
You know what? Your title kind of pushes me to ASCON 1. The title, that you say that he's ridiculous,
That's what I'm saying.
that you tried to be assertive when you had no place to be assertive. Like, you, lady. I kind of, now I forgot about the title. No, it is gross. Like, what you're doing here, and your husband had every right to be like, stop talking. Like, you're digging a hole, and it's not good. Yeah.
But here's the deal. Here's the other side of this. Like, if you are somebody in a blended family relationship, this is one of those things that you don't learn until you are in it, right? This might be the first time OP's running up against this, of how to handle the balance and like where the line is as a bonus parent. Like, you don't learn that. They don't give you a handbook whenever you start, a relationship in a blended family. They don't give you that. You have to feel it out and come to some arrangement and agreement with your partner as you go. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is trial and error, right? And I think also trial and error makes me think about this. If OP was really coming from a good place here and was really wanting to help her bonus son out, it would be a suggestion of trial and error. It would be, okay, we have to be willing to try anything here, right? We have to be open-minded. We have to think about working toward the real issue here. And it seems like she had one idea and just really wanted to inject that one idea.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I would be careful with how dismissive she is of the stepson. Like, that bothers me. There's a fine line to walk. I say this more as a mom, like, we're mama bears. We're very protective of our kids. And as a stepmom, there's a fine line that you have to walk so that you don't overstep on the mom's toes. And I know that there's a line too with being a dad and being a stepdad and like not overstepping, but I do feel like it's more intricate on the mom side. And people may disagree, and that's fine, but I do think there is a line that you have to be very, very, very careful of. This woman,
just more and more as you dig more
this
into
woman
it.
is just, she's very abrasive, dismissive, and just DFHB reject, in my opinion.
It got worse. It got worse as it went.